to watch him on our big screens, whether he's a villain, a lover boy, action figure. It's just always want to see his face. So what we've done is, hey, how about we bring him right here on the morning brief so you can see his face yet again. Ladies and gentlemen, we have joining us Manuel, Udoku, actor, movie director, one of Nollywood's greats. It's good to have you on the show, Mr. Manuel Udoku. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You heard the voice. I'm not sure if you'll be a villain on the show this morning, or you'll be a lover boy, or you know, the hero. But speak to us. A lot of people have been asking, where have you been? I'm sure for those who follow, they know where you've been. But you're nearly 60 years old, right? So you have a lot of experience under your belt, and you're looking young, I should say. You hardly tell. So what have you been up to? Maybe past 5 years or so.
I've been in Anambra State, my state, political appointment. Currently, I'm the special advisor to the governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, CFR, on entertainment, leisure, and tourism. That's where I've been. I'm still also very big part of Nollywood. I mean, you just showed a clip of a movie that's about to be released on Netflix. So, very much around.
Fantastic, and it's good to see that clip. I'm sure a lot of people will be queuing to stream that movie, something for the weekend. So how then do you still do politics, governance, and other associated issues around that, like the office you're in right now? And you still get time to be on the set, because I know set life in itself is a huge job of work. So how do you balance that right now? We'll also get into your story, but I'm just curious, how do you juggle both?
You know, if I were a medical doctor and I have a political appointment, it won't stop me from practicing medicine. If I'm an engineer and I'm in government, it won't stop me from being known as an engineer. So being a professionally trained theater artist and actor, again, remember, my portfolio in government is entertainment, leisure, and tourism. So if I don't go in there into Nollywood, I mean, an industry which I am part of the pioneering practitioners, how would I advise the government of Anambra State on how to leverage on the huge, huge potentials of Nollywood? You know, suffice it to say that as practitioners, we know how to arrange for our shooting schedules with producers and directors of movies anywhere in the country. And so they make provision for people like us who are engaged in state or nation building, representing Nollywood in our states or at federal level or at any other level, to be able to still be part of Nollywood. In other words, they can schedule your recording for weekends, when you are not officially at work, to come and do your bits and then go back. So I think that's part of the way to manage it.
Suffice it to say that, you're like Daniel. You've served 3 different administrations in Anambra State in similar capacity in the entertainment field. Former Governor Peter Obi, former Governor Willie Obiano, and now you're serving Professor Soludo. We'll get to that bit later about your impact in that field in your home state. But I like history, and my earliest memory of you is when you emerged from the pool in that montage for the Checkmate series from the 90s. And, it's as if that was a defining series for your contemporary in Nollywood. How impactful was that series for your career and for so many of, the other Nollywood greats in that generation who seem to, live in our subconscious? And I could mention quite a few names, but you are the one we're celebrating today. So let's go down memory lane, briefly.
Yeah, I usually say that Checkmate was my launching pad to, we can call it celebrity status or stardom, or being in the public consciousness of Nigerians that this guy has some talent that we need to watch out for. The late Amaki Igwe bless her soul, had confidence in me enough to cast me for that role, fresh out of the university, and not one of the Lagos crowd back then. You know, I schooled at the University of Port Harcourt in Rivers State, where I studied theater arts under the late Professor Larotimi, who wrote The Gods Are Not to Blame. So being part of Checkmate was really, really fundamental to my growth as a performer in this country. You know, so it was for me a chance that I couldn't afford to let slip by. You know, I was actually in final year when we started filming Checkmate. And it was no mean feat coming from Port Harcourt virtually every 2 weeks to come and shoot in Ikorodu, where our major camp was back then, and then go back and continue with my studies. I had a goal, you know, I had a goal to make a difference, you know, but I didn't know we were going to be part of an emerging industry, which is today a multi-billion-dollar industry all over the world, known as Nollywood.
All right. Profound. So the politics part of it now, you've served 3 different administrations. Talk to us about that. Your first, of course, degrees in theater, but you've also done an MSc in political science, I believe. And you have somehow managed to be so valuable that you have served in Anambra State for 3 different administrations. What have you done differently that has, you know, caused you to so be retained? And would you be pursuing your political career beyond appointive positions to elective positions in the near future?
I know that will come. Anyway, my involvement in government in Anambra State started with former Governor Peter Obi in 2013, but it was brief. He brought me in the last year of his administration, and before you know it, it was campaigns and all that, and he went. But we were beginning to lay the foundation of making people aware that Anambra State is a place where creativity thrives. There are many of us in Nollywood and even in the music industry. I mean, they're all out there performing. And then Governor Obiano's administration, we tried to do a couple of things. One of the profound things that was done, and that has never been done anywhere, any state in Nigeria, was a concert we did on Easter Sunday of 2017. It was called Pop Stars of the 70s, where we brought 10 top bands from the Southeast that were there in the 70s, you know, made waves like Sweet Breeze, Action, Rinkai Experience, Semicolon, you know, about 10 of them. We brought them on stage on Easter Sunday. We tagged it Resurrection Concert. And it was huge because a lot of people didn't know that those musicians of the 70s were still alive. Many were alive, many were active. They could still play, and they actually played live in Anambra State. It was awesome. Now, the current administration of Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo is doing something differently, you know, not just in entertainment industry, which I'll come to, but I'm glad you just had discussion with some people about teachers. Governor Soludo has done so much in terms of education in Anambra State. For instance, less than 9 months in office, he recruited more than about 5,000 teachers. And as if that wasn't enough, down the line, he added additional 3,015, making a total of 8,115 teachers from about 17 states across the country. So for him, it doesn't matter where you come from, so long as you pass the exams and you have the requisite qualification to teach students, pupils in Anambra State. It doesn't matter where you come from, you are recruited. And you see, he says something like this, again, he's a teacher. He tells us that he's a teacher, he's a professor, so he wouldn't joke with his own profession, or those who practice it. And then the education of the youths, young people in his state, being a world-class teacher. And so he tells us that a pupil doesn't care where his teacher comes from. A parent doesn't care where the teacher of his children come from. The important thing is impacting knowledge on that child or those children to be able to face the future. Most of us attended public schools.
Right.
You know, and I don't think any of my teachers came from Ogidi, my hometown. You know, the late Professor Larotimi, who I regard as my theater father, is a Yoruba man. But then I learned so much from him. So it doesn't matter where your teacher comes from, but the knowledge he or she impacts on you.
Now you can understand.
You know, now, in entertainment industry,
right. I was saying,
Anambra State.
Please go. You can land on that point. You can land on that point.
Spending billions, building huge infrastructure for entertainment. For instance, there's what will turn out to be the biggest theme park in West Africa is being built in Oka as we speak. Solution Fund City. You know, billions is being spent there.
Well,
when it's done, by this December, it will be in use.
Mr. Udoku, you can understand why Bukola then
asked,
she then asked, when you are going full-time into politics, maybe there will be more things to come ahead. You're already speaking a lot about it, but a lot of people still know you as the, Bob Manuel Udoku of the big screen. So maybe let's give them more of that, right, and see what politics will bring in the coming days. Bukola, like many other women, remember that's you coming out of the pool, and it's etched in their memories. I don't know. I was just going through social media, and you still see a lot of women saying, he was my crush that year. I don't know how you handled all of that and and stuff, but a lot of people see.
Well, I see.
Go ahead.
I see those who say that as satisfied customers. You know, your fan base, as huge as it gets, is because they are satisfied with what you're doing. And I'm not surprised. When I was, back in the days when I was at the University of Port Harcourt, I mean, everybody from the Vice Chancellor to the security men at the gate knew me because I was very active. And thank God for providing me the platform in Checkmate to be able to let the world see what talent he had given me. And then at some point in my career, I became the anchor of Gulder Ultimate Search.
Exactly.
The first, the biggest, and the best reality television show in the country. I now have the record of being the longest anchor person.
There you go.
So when people express satisfaction or admiration for my work as an actor, I feel humbled, I feel happy,
okay.
I feel I feel thankful to God for the opportunity. Some don't have it.
Let's quickly merge things together.
The platform.
Right. Let's quickly merge things together because of time. We never have enough time with Nollywood greats, but let's see what we can do. So new movie coming out. You played a pivotal role. I heard people saying Bob Manuel Udoku is in that movie. I'm definitely watching that movie. It's coming out in a couple of weeks, we understand. But there's the deeper conversation around ensuring that Nollywood is able to hold its own and be as big as Hollywood, because we have the stories, we have the people, we have the minds. What else is missing? Collaboration.
I said this years ago that Nollywood has come of age. I mean, we don't have to do anything more to prove to the world that we have world-class talents here. There's this conversation about Idris Elba being cast to play Okonkwo in Hollywood's make of Things Fall Apart. I don't have anything against that as an actor, but I think that we have people, top-class actors in Nigeria who can play that role even better, knowing where the story is coming from. But that's a story for another day. What Nollywood needs now, which I said years ago, is collaboration, and it's beginning to happen. I happen to be part of another production that involved two major actors from India and another Hollywood-based actress, Her roots is from Ghana, but she's based in LA. You know, we need to have more and more collaboration with our counterparts in Europe and North America. That's the path to follow now, and I believe that it's beginning to happen gradually, and we'll eventually get there. The bundle of talents we have in Nigeria is awesome. I mean, I recently traveled to France and Germany, and I know the kind of reception that I got across board. Strangers, total strangers who see you at airports or train station or bus station and surround you to take pictures, and you wonder how they know you. We're great ambassadors of this country out there. You know, I say the prophet has honor except in his own home. But also, I think we're highly respected here as well. I have to thank the Nigerian airline industry. Most times when I travel within Nigeria and, manage to buy your ticket, economy ticket because of the economy, and they see you, most times they upgrade me to business class.
Well, we can say that they are satisfied customers as well.
People should do more.
Right. I think we can say they're also part of the satisfied customers of Bob Manuel Udoku's product.
They are.
We have to run right now. But just to be clear, are you 60 yet? Because the last year some people were congratulating you on clocking 60, or you're 57. Quickly.
I answer that question almost every day. Okay, I'm up to 60 years, so you can now regard me as a senior citizen. But then I refuse to grow old.
All righty. Senior citizen Bob Manuel Udoku, who has millions of satisfied customers. Make sure you see that movie and much more coming out in the coming months and years. We have to thank you so much for your time and wish you the very best. Hoping you can mentor much more in the industry. Bob Manuel Udoku, actor, movie director, and of course, someone who satisfies his customers. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Well, of course, he's also senior special advisor in Anambra State on arts and entertainment. Fantastic work. Well, Bukola, we have to run now.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for being there. We'll be back again tomorrow. I am Bukola Koka.
I'm Kayode Okikelu. Sunrise Daily is next. Stay with us right here on Channels Television.